Hello everyone. It's me, that Divination witch. Hiya. I hope you're all doing well. Now, welcome. This is my witchy safe space, as you all know. Any question, you can ask it. No questions are silly questions, so feel free to put it in the comments below. I do try and make videos for people and respond to as many comments as I can. Now, today, you'll know by the title, but I'm going to talk about Hecate because I feel like I need to. It's been a little while since I sat down and just spoke about Mother. And this is for you beginners out there. And this is a longer video. How do you know that you are connected to Hecate? What are the signs to look out for? So I'm going to list 7 of them. I felt like 7 was the right number to list for some reason. So let's get into it. My name's Sarah. I go by that Divination witch, and like I said, this is my safe space. Any question, feel free to ask. I try and help people on this channel, make videos to help people, answer questions, be down to earth. Hit subscribe if you like that. I do hope you stick around. I've also got a link tree below with a shop and a Patreon if you're interested in supporting me further. I offer readings and other things, so yeah, check it out. Thanks. All right, 7 signs you are drawn to Hecate, that you are linked with her in some way. Number 1 is the most obvious, but I'm getting it out there, and that's being drawn to her. That is being interested in her. I've experienced this a couple of times. I have a memory. It wasn't Hecate, it was Freya, actually, when I was still a baby witch myself. And I've spoke about Freya on this channel before, but I just wanted to learn everything about her. I was just like, wow. Now, Hecate was already in my life by then. And Hecate came around all of a sudden. Yes, I felt drawn to her, but it was very like, oh, wow, hello. And then I was learning about her. I didn't know who she was really beforehand. But Freya, I did know. And, it depends. It could be that you were like me. You didn't even know who Hecate was. And suddenly, boom, she's there. You've realised. Or it could be something that you are drawn to. But I feel like that's the most obvious sign. If you are researching her, if you are watching videos about her, if you're interested in her, then that, I would take it as number 1 sign that she's around you and you're connected to her in some way. And number 2, well, another obvious one, I'm getting the obvious ones out the way, is seeing symbols of her. I always take with a grain of salt some things that we see online, because sites like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, they all have algorithms. So if you're into witchy stuff, you're going to see witchy things. If you've been searching about mythologies, then you're going to see stuff to do with gods and goddesses and whatever. So taking that aside, seeing symbols of Hecate in your everyday life, in unusual places, some of her symbols I've listed in other videos, but I'll quickly go through some. Dogs, one of the most obvious. So you might live somewhere where they're not allowed pets and all of a sudden you see a dog, I don't know. Keys, you might find a random key. She is symbolized by keys because of being a goddess of the liminal space. Owls, that's because it's a nocturnal animal and an animal to do with knowledge and justice, etc. What else off the top of my head? I'm probably missing some really obvious ones. Serpents, that's the feminine, that's the magic. Dragons, horses, that's a bit more out there, but horses and ravens, crows, corvids, blackbirds, that kind of thing. Her strophalos, symbol of her wheel, that's a bit more specific, but it is her symbol. You could be seeing triple moon signs, because she is related to witchcraft. Triple goddess signs, I suppose, as well. Torches, things to do with Greek myth, like the Greek key as well. And it's it's complex. It is complex when it comes to symbols, but there's some more obvious than others. You know, she's linked with many different things. She's got many different sides to her. She's pretty complex. But if you're seeing things out the blue, say, you know, you find some keys and you're like, all right, and then keys keep appearing or something, or symbols to do with keys, you just know something's up. Or repeating numbers as well. That's another one, just to quickly say while I'm on. She's linked with the number 3. So if you're seeing like 333 or 0303, she does that to me sometimes. I wake up at like 3:33 in the morning and things like this. It's just like, all right, you've got something to say. I get it. So that's another thing. So number 3. And that is, she comes to you in dreams. Another kind of obvious one, but Hecate likes to come to us in dreams because, again, she's a goddess of the liminal space. And, well, a dream is a liminal space in its own right, in its own way. It's between being awake and being asleep. You know, it's that strange in between. And when she comes to us in dreams, she can do as herself, but she can also do it as other witches and other witchy people. So I've had dreams specifically about her, and it's definitely been her. I've had dreams where there's other witches, like witchy creators have been in it. And I just know it's Hecate speaking through them. Sometimes I've had dreams about fictional characters as well. I mean, I've had dreams about the woman of Sabrina, what's her name, Zelda, and things like that. No, nothing untoward in the dream, just to say, but she's been featured in the dream. That can be Mother speaking through, you know, that kind of character. She does this. She likes to give us messages in dreams. With her being a goddess of magic and divination and the liminal space, it's her domain, it's her realm. So that's another way of feeling that, oh, there's something there. She's reaching out. There's a connection. Now, number 4, being drawn to and having an affinity for magic and divination. Now, I have already said loads of times on different videos, but we're all born with spiritual talents, you know. Some may be more drawn to certain things than others. I found my talent in divination. I don't know how, and I never thought I ever would, but it just comes naturally to me. Whereas some other people may find spell work easier, or some other people, I don't know, might find a specific type of spell work easier, like baneful workings or protective workings are really good, or healing. You know, some people are healers. I strongly feel I'm a messenger and maybe a teacher. But having, you know, this pull to learn more, and that's what I did. You know, I never knew how to read tarot. Never, like, I just did it all myself. I had this pull to learn. It was with her help. So whether that is a pull for learning more about magic or a specific branch of magic, or, like I said, divination, healing. Number 5, this is also Mother's influence, I've noticed. Now, I've always been a kind-hearted person. Don't get me wrong, maybe a bit of a pushover because of my trauma. I used to be a people pleaser. Still can be, and it can be so toxic sometimes. I try not to be. But Mother, you know, it's in her very nature. She picks up those of us who have been traumatized, hurt, bullied. You know, we've normally had bad things happen to us. We've normally had the wind knocked out of our sails, our confidence broken. Mother picks us back up and teaches us how to fight back, gain self-confidence. And so, as someone who is connected with her, you start feeling that kind of energy. And I know I have. That's part of the reason, not the whole reason, but part of the reason I have this channel. And why, you know, even way back in the day when I first started TikTok, I started out doing free readings for people, but then I realised I was giving too much of my energy away for nothing in return, for just a burden in return. Actually, a lot of it was demanding self-righteous people. Not everyone. I realised I have to start charging for this, you know. Yes, it's a gift, but we're humans and, you know, pay for a service at the end of the day. So if you have this kind heart, if you have this nature where you want to help and go above and beyond. So maybe for me, I don't really do free readings anymore like that, but I try and answer loads of questions for you guys. I don't just be an a-hole for no reason. I have boundaries, healthy boundaries, I feel. But yeah, I won't be an a-hole like some witchy creators. Not all, but some. I've literally seen people say, well, Google it. What sort of a-hole response is that, I feel if you're going to be a creator, just to quickly say, on any platform, if you're sharing your practice, even if you don't want to be a teacher, you've got a certain responsibility. Yes, people are adults, but you have a certain responsibility to be receptive. Otherwise, why are you doing it? It's not a popularity contest, or clearly it must be to you, what you're sharing your practice for if you don't want people to ask about it. The showing an interest, what you're being a dick for. That's the way I see it. So if you are, being kind-hearted in that way, or maybe it's, you want to help people or animals. She loves animals. You could be, I don't know, doing some voluntary work, or, helping out a friend, or things like this. Yeah, that's her. She does that too. And another way, number 6, I can't do a 6, 5, 6, because microphone. But number 6 is another way her energy can influence us. And I don't want to scare people. Of course not with these last 2, but it naturally happens. It's starting to be drawn to the darker side of things. And that doesn't mean you're going evil. And it doesn't mean you're going to end up working with demons and that even they're all evil. But it's wanting to understand and learn. Because that's me as well. I'm not a demonologist, but I have dipped my toe in, and I do research them. But I also research angels, and I research darker things as well, because there's seeds of truth in it. And is it all dark? It's learning about that side of things. But also dark is in the sense of nothing to do with demons or anything, more death. And I know that's triggering, but death is a sign of rebirth and learning more about, the afterlife and what happens next. And then, not to be afraid. I mean, of course, I'm only human. It's normal, isn't it? We're all going to be scared of that. We don't want to, cease to exist. I'm voguing here. We don't want that to happen. It's scary. You get fear of the unknown, but it's learning to embrace that more and be like, well, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, and kind of looking it in the eye and embracing that for today, to live your life to the fullest potential. I have learned, life's for living. I've wasted enough of my time. I was in a job for a decade that I hated. I've wasted enough of my time doing that. And that's why I'm here. You know what I mean? There's more to life. There's more to life than just paying your bills and, lining someone else's pockets. There is. Humans aren't meant to exist the way we do. And number 7, I'll go on to my last point. 5, 2, 7. What's 5 plus 2? That's 7. That is, and again, I don't want to scare, but spirits coming to you. And people coming to you as well. So if you are truly connected with her, if you're a child of Hecate, you're doing her work on this mortal coil, on this planet Earth. And all right, this is where the scaremongering comes in, where people say she'll haunt your house and hordes of spirits will get you and blah, all this BS. No, it's not like that at all. Absolutely not. She is a goddess of lost souls and the restless dead. Yes, she is. And she's a psychopomp, which is like a grim reaper. She guides souls to where they're meant to be. She kind of exists in limbo in a way, because she's guiding people to where they're meant to go, people who are stuck, things like this. You're not going to get chucked in the deep end with it, and you're not going to have a horde of dead around you. Absolutely not. To be honest with you, they're probably already there, Hecate or not, because there's so many people who have existed before us. You know, there's so many lost souls. I hate to count. I wouldn't even attempt it. But for the most part, we don't know. We don't realise because we're closed off from it. So when it comes to working with Mother, though, she will often bring souls to us to help us cross them over. Now, it depends. For me, because of me being this, talented at divination and being able to do that, I feel like that's my path to be like a medium. I feel like she does that, and I've crossed over a few souls. I could be on for hours talking about it, so I'm not going to right now. But yes, she does that. But it's not just the dead people, it's the living as well. And a lot of you guys have come to me, and even before I had a YouTube channel and before I had the audience and the reach I do now, I would get people coming to me who were interested in her, and we had an affinity. I mean, that's what my little podcast is about with my two little witchy friends. I don't mean to infantilise them, sorry. I don't mean to say it like that, but my two witchy friends there, who are also Hecatean witches, Hecate brought us together for a reason, that reason might just be for a reading. That reason might just be to answer a question, or it might be something more, But she does this, and she probably has led me to other people to help me as well, and that's the way it is. That's the way she is. So you will start finding yourself just naturally flowing into these circles with other like-minded people and maybe other Hecatean witches, etc. So yeah, there you go. I hope this video has helped, especially if you're a beginner. If you're not realising any of this, well, you probably will soon. And if you're like, why is this happening? Well, this could have enlightened you and prepared you. So if you've got anything else you want me to cover, any questions, feel free to ask them. Put them in the comments below. And if you've made it this far, please hit subscribe. And until next time, of course, stay safe and stay witchy. Bye.